Welcome to another exciting episode of the Million Dollar Peddlers. I'm Papergoy, and unfortunately it's a chilly, gloomy morning, but here we are down in the Poconos. This beautiful view out there. We're down here for the Allentown Paper Show. We got Mrs. Papergoy as our cinematographer. Big shout out to her. Like I said, a little chilly, a little windy. It is 8 o'clock in the morning. The show starts at 9. Now, I know a lot of people out there will say, hey, you got a 45-minute drive. You got to get going. That's one of the beauties of the way that I run my business with the old paper. A lot of times I end up showing up to things middle of the day. I can even show up on the last day of sale and pick up some really good things. There's a couple of different ways you can go about things. You can either be the first person in line. I bet people were lining up there at 6 o'clock this morning. I'll be the first person in line and try to get the great deals. One of the problems with that is the dealers already got a lot of the great deals. A little insider secret, they set up and they go buy from each other. That's why if you have a friend who's a dealer, if you can finagle your way in, hey, I'll help you set up, I'll help you for a couple hours, it's well worth it because you get into the show beforehand. Not that, of course, I've ever done that before, but that's a little secret as well. But yeah, the dealers, they've gone and picked each other's tables and something other. They'll buy something for 10 and you'll see it at their table later for $35. It's just the way the whole thing works. So I'm not too worried about always being the first person in line. And I actually happen to hate lines, so I figure I'll get there around 9:15 to 9:30 for the 9 o'clock start. Won't have any problems at all going around. Another quick thing I wanted to tell you, and it's one of the beauties of having a small business like this. Drove down from Rochester yesterday, got a good night's sleep. Going to go to the show all day today, get a good night's sleep tonight, leave tomorrow morning. Hopefully have some great buys to show you later in the haul video. But it's all legitimately expensed because it's a real show, real stuff there. Hopefully I pick up some great deals. I've got a couple of contacts down there you're going to be meeting up with. And you can always plan trips and things like that around. You know, we've got a beautiful view here, but a little sunnier. It's absolutely beautiful, and who knows, maybe it'll stop raining a little bit this evening. And you can take that off your taxes 100% legitimately. I'm not, of course, not a tax professional. Do check with your tax professional. But again, just paid for. Cannot argue with that whatsoever. You know, a few years ago I went to Las Vegas for the eBay Open, one of the best things that I ever did. And hopefully they bring those back live. If you're watching this eBay, bring back live eBay Opens. But it was great. Went to all day long, went to the various things with eBay, and then in the evenings got to enjoy Las Vegas. And again, you could expense it. It's 100% legit because it's a great business expense, and it's a lot of fun in the evenings as well. So if you are running your business, do take a look for opportunities like that as well. You can see the world on your business's dime and take it off your taxes. Nothing wrong with that at all. I've stood out here yammering enough. I think I got frostbite on my toes now. So next time we're going to be showing you a bunch of stuff from inside the Allentown Paper Show. Definitely do check it out. It's held every April and every October. And do check it out online. And we'll see you from the show. And we're here. It's still rainy, and they just opened the doors of the show. We pulled up, and there's a pretty good sized line out front. I don't feel like standing out in the rain with that. So if you take a look over here, this is the beauty of the fairgrounds. They've got the farmers market. A lot of good opportunities to buy some things in there. Got a nice place that has wine. Got a couple of breakfast places. So we're going to jump in there first and just grab some breakfast, let the other people all beat each other up trying to get in. I'll get pneumonia. And meanwhile, we'll be heading on over there in about 15, 20 minutes after a quick little breakfast. Be all energized, a couple of cups of coffee, and be all set to go. We'll see you inside the show once it clears up a little bit.
And here we are with some great footage. Want to thank Mrs. Papergoy for taking all these pictures. That there is the entrance where you went in. $10 admission, $9 with a ticket, which of course Papergoy forgot his ticket. So he had to pay the whole $10. Oh, well, just anybody wants to come on out. This is what it looks like when you first enter. A lot of great things. And the other room over there all has a lot of stuff as well, as you can see. Dealers set up everywhere. Good friend of the channel, Craig Farmer, Vintage Syndicate and Ephemera, usually sets up over their first table through those doors. Usually sets up over there. He was not able to make it this time, unfortunately. But I did see him there and say hello to him. As you can see, there are lots and lots of great things throughout. And actually, unfortunately, kind of sparsely attended this time through. I've been there in the past where there were a lot of people all the way through, but the dealers are all set up. And as you can see, just by looking there, they did get a very good sized area in order to display their stuff. A lot of times that's one area right there. And a lot of times in a show, you'll get like 2 tables worth of stuff. So they certainly do allow the dealers to put a lot of stuff out. So definitely if you are in the area, every April, end of April and October, look at that. Just a whole nother room over there just filled with stuff. They do have shows, so do stop on by. It definitely is worthwhile, and at this point they got stuff for every price point. Was not the case back in October, but now it definitely is with some lower price stuff. And everything's there. Kentucky Fried Chicken on. This gentleman actually sets up in Rochester. He's actually a dealer from Rochester, and he made it all the way down there as well. I buy stuff off him locally. Did not buy anything off him this time, unfortunately for him. But he did have a lot of neat stuff, as you can see. He basically specializes in restaurant and cereal items, things like that, giveaway items, premiums, that sort of thing. So a lot of neat stuff with a few other things, their old tins and stuff like that, as you can see. But great guy over there, a lot of good stuff for him. I buy from him locally, so I said, I don't have to drive 4 hours to buy from a guy that I buy from locally. But yeah, you can just tell they're in the display. If you are into paper, there's lots of great old paper right over there. More dealers heading on up over this way. And we're still in the first room. These are some of the first people that you end up seeing as you go through. A lot of neat stuff. People with some buys in their hands already, as you can see as well. So good time was had by everybody. One of the dealers right there, you can tell by the little badge on him. No, let's get through. Oh, and the block was made. So a lot of stuff there. $10 book table over here, which did have some pretty neat books in it as well over there. I didn't end up buying any of them, but I definitely did take a look at the things over there. Now, something like that I would buy more to read myself, which actually $10 for a book's not bad at all when you consider that an average book nowadays is what, $30, something rather like that. So a lot of neat things throughout. You got all the little figures there, so it's not just paper. You had the lead soldiers over there. Just neat stuff. So something there for everybody at the place. And again, prices were all over the place. There was a lot of lower price stuff this time, which hadn't been there in the past. More paper. Dollar table right there you may have just seen. Mrs. Papergoy had no interest at all in the dollar table, ran right by it. This gentleman over here, this was actually a $5 table. All that stuff you saw there was $5. You head on in, and we do a dramatic cut. We're here in the second room now. I know there's also a snack bar here as well, restrooms and all that also. So certainly anything that you need, you can make a whole day out of it. This dealer over here had some neat things. Second or third time I've been there, and he's got some Scientific American that I may end up buying next time. He wants $3 each on them from the late 1800s, early 1900s, which is a fair deal on them. I just may, one of these days if I'm bored, may say, hey, what do you want for all of them, assuming he doesn't sell them, which not a lot of people are in the market for them. Unfortunately, a lot of times with stuff like that, what you're doing is you're buying work, because I've got a big pile of them as well that I've purchased in the past that I haven't really done anything with. Over there on the right, you saw some people looking through postcards. If you are into postcards, definitely plenty of postcards at this thing as well. No doubt whatsoever about that. Plenty of postcards. So whether you're just into regular paper or you're into postcards or you want to spend a nice morning, definitely worth coming on out to. And again, hopefully you can take a look at just all of the neat things there. If you're into sports cards, that would be a Babe Ruth card right there, I see. So you definitely got some high-end sports cards as well. A lot of tobacco cards. Just some neat stuff for everybody out there. Would love to have some of that stuff in my collection. I just didn't bring the money in order to do so, unfortunately. And again, I did spend $158 at this show and think I did pretty well on the stuff that I bought. And this is where you can tell they definitely got a little more room than some people could use. Just look at how few items they have out. And, the Gun Digest I've mentioned before is not a particularly good item. Things like that. Yodeling Cowboy, Yodelay-o, that Black Beauty book, that's a $5 book. So the fact that they're able to put things like that out for sale tells you that they got a lot of room. It may have been one of those deals too where the site wasn't sold and they just kind of set up there as well. Very well, maybe. They may have bought 2 tables across and just used across with permission. And that would be Superman I see right there. RCA Victor signs, a lot of signs right there. And a lot of the dealers do specialize in various things as well. That gentleman right there has got some artwork, as you can see. Got posters all along the back. Just some great, great stuff. And, hopefully you're enjoying this little walk through all of the different things that are there and the people going through the postcards right there. Any second, we're going to see Popeye burst through the wall like Kool-Aid Man, I think, and say, let me see those postcards. But yeah, a lot of dealers are set up right there with the sorted out postcards for people to be going through. And they seem to be doing a pretty brisk business as well. More tables, just table after table after table. I was going at a pretty rapid clip myself when I was going through here. And again, this is Mrs. Papergoy doing the video over here. Want to thank her. Got some nice photo albums right there. Very nice photo albums. And I got there at 9:30 and I was done about 11:45. So 2 hours and 15 minutes for me, going at a pretty quick pace. Looking for things to buy. I certainly could have made it last about 4.5 hours, certainly, just to let you know as well. So if you are planning on attending, that way you have an idea how much time. Those are some nice old posters right over there. Again, I don't deal in things like that. If they're over 22 inches, you've always got the problem with the shipping. But there you go. Nice Red Cross posters up there on the wall as well. All flat. Obviously, if you could get those rolled, that would be even better. More postcards. But yeah, so I would definitely say about 5 hours. It is a 2-day show. I always leave at the end of the first day. Deals are probably to be had on the second day as well. So certainly if you can make a weekend out of it. Now I have to get back for the day job and the like. Plus I work at Mr. Magazines, as we all know, very early on Monday morning. So I've got prior plans, but a lot of people do end up staying for both days and seem to do fairly well there on the second day. You got some scrapbooks, just lots of stuff. And I hope you're getting an idea of the overwhelming amount of stuff that there is there. Golden Age comics right there. I don't think I saw that pile. I should have went with Mrs. Papergoy. She found the good stuff right over there. Geez, those look to be some pretty nice comics right there. Nice Golden Age stuff. Adult novelties. Hey now. Those things are always fun. You can find those, and $10 is a fair price on them. They go for about $20 a piece. And what they are is they'll be novelties. They'll be some kind of a joke type deal. There's a comic dealer right over there with a lot of nice stuff over there. It's early X-Men, Hulk 102, I see, Lucy, Hobgoblin first appearance. A lot of nice stuff there, a lot of graded stuff also. But as I was saying about the novelties, yeah, they go for about $20 a piece, and they're just some kind of a thing. You open it up and there's some kind of a joke inside for sure. Photographing the female figure, which was a nice way for them to sell nudity back in the day on the newsstand, because of course it's art, it's nothing else. So there are some records there as well. A lot of Beatle stuff there, Beatle book cover and the like. And like I said, prices are all over the place. But this time there definitely were some lower priced items as well. $19.27, $95. Yep. So there's somebody or other that knows their sheet music, and it definitely has some pretty good prices on their sheet music there. Stuff I don't necessarily know. A lot of nice ads. Oh, maybe those are movie sheets. I don't know. Isn't something I deal in, so I don't really tend to know very well. A lot more right there. It's graded Star Wars, Flash. There's a lot of neat things over here. So again, hopefully you enjoy this. This is a lot deeper dive than we usually give right over there. You got some of the girly things right there as well. And again, I want to thank Mrs. Papergoy. I think I saw High Society there. People magazines and so on. So just kind of water bottles. Just heading on into booth after booth after booth like this. So, hopefully you see some things. I'm sure everyone out there watching, who is that handsome man? Heard he's a local celebrity. Oh, got just a little bit surprised on that over there. Did end up buying a few things out of that as well. Just to let you know, I was checking for completeness, but bought a few things right there. One thing that I did before was I asked them, would you be willing to deal if I got a pile of stuff? And they said yes. So they ended up giving me about 15% off of everything that I ended up buying. So I was quite happy with that deal as well. Those holiday magazines you just saw, that actually does sell, but it doesn't fly off the shelf. But they do actually sell. They go for about $10 to $15 each. So give you a little bit of a look behind the curtain as to what stuff sells for as well. So if you do find the holiday magazines, you can pick them up for $1 or less. They will sell for that. And we're heading on out of here, heading on out of the show. Mrs. Papergoy got sick of doing the recording, but she did a great job over here. Give her a ovation for that over there. Hopefully you like this over here. Hit the like button, and we've got a special guest star coming up momentarily, because I see who just kind of showed up there. Check the thumbnail out if you need to know more. So some nice stuff. Very, very nice stuff going on over here. Look at that there. Warplanes to color, airplanes to color, and so on. Just lots and lots of stuff. Yep. Oh, look at that. That's nice too. Very, very nice. Florists and birds and whatever. All right, everybody. We're going to head on over to our special guest star. And we are here, and we met a famous person, the amazing Popeye's Postcards. How are you doing, Popeye?
Good, Dave. How are you doing? Nice to meet you in person.
Doing well. You made a couple of comments to me inside just about how you were amazed by the size of the show.
Yeah, I've been to York, and this is my first time here, and just amazed at the size. It's 5 times bigger than York, and I've been going to a lot of shows. I'm overwhelmed by what's in here and how much is in here.
And you said it's a 2.5-hour drive. It's a 4-hour drive for me. I would say anybody, if you're into paper and you are 4 or 5 miles away,
Yeah.
4 or 5 hours away, it definitely is worth coming down. You're doing the overnight. I'm doing the overnight just because. And you think you're going to get through everything today, or are you coming back tomorrow?
I have to come back.
Come back tomorrow. And how are prices, would you say?
Not bad. You have to cherry pick, and always. And but there's good deals to be found. You just got to know what you're looking for. Stick to and when you're overwhelmed like this, you got to stick to what you remember, what you know. Like I'm sticking to Disney and Halloween stuff that I'm pretty confident.
You know the prices.
I know the prices, and I know what I can probably flip those for.
Now let me ask you if you use a secret that I end up using a lot of times and things like that. You're there and you see, and I'm making the prices up because I'm not a postcard guy, but you see three Halloween postcards, $40 you're getting 3 for, and you know you can make some money. You know they're $100, $120 for postcards there, and then you see a different postcard in a different genre that you're on the fence about. Try to get it thrown in, try to get it for $5, something like that. That way you learn, you expand your knowledge base at a low risk to you.
Right.
Great opportunity.
Yeah, you try to bundle, and I try to find, in bulk, here's a couple hundred postcards for $5. There's got to be one postcard in there that I can sell for $5. Then the rest I'll just bulk out, and they may come to Whatnot tonight without sight unseen. What's in the box? Might do that.
Yeah, and it's and the other thing is I was mentioning to you inside as well. We came to this in October, and they have this every April and every October. Definitely worth coming out to, as I said. There were a lot more $1, $2, $5 tables than there were last time. Last time, very, very few people had lower price things. This time, there's quite a few lower price things. You're getting ready for the garbage right there. Nice.
Yeah.
I do want to thank you for coming by. You do have a YouTube channel, do you not? You don't do a lot on it, but you have a lot of old videos on
there. Yeah,
there.
Popeye's Postcards. I just haven't done anything for about 2.5 months. I'll get back into it. I got a new shiny object with Whatnot and selling stuff on there. So we'll get back into it.
And what do you sell on Whatnot under? What name? What's your handle, as we quote kids?
Popeye's Postcards.
As we quote kids in 1978 with the CB radio. Popeye's Postcards. Do you have a regular auction time, right?
Yes, I do every Saturday at 8 and Tuesday at 8, usually 3 hours.
PM Eastern.
Eastern, yeah. And then every once in a while I'll do a Thursday morning show. Got one of those coming up. I bought bulk holiday cards.
Oh, nice.
So I'll be doing bulk holiday cards in the morning on Thursdays.
Very good. All righty, everybody. So subscribe over to Popeye's Postcard. Good friend of the channel. He comes by our live show all the time and says hi. And the cinematographer is getting wet as we speak. So I'm getting the cut sign right now. So we're going to head on out. And thank you very much. And
thank you, Dave. Oh, what's that?
And we are back at the hotel. Definitely check it out, Lake Harmony Inn up in the Poconos. They are not a sponsor, but we're always open to sponsors. This is the bounty that I ended up picking up. Some neat stuff over here. These will be coming over to a Whatnot near you. $10 for all these prints. I got to go through them, sort them out. At that price, though, I'm certain there's some good ones in here that'll be great for Whatnot. A few things for myself, for my own collection over here. Superman educational comic that I've never seen before. A couple of French Avion de Transport. Cutouts. some cards. And I just wanted to give you guys a little insider tip to people that don't do comic books. Often you'll find classic comics, usually in fact are classics illustrated. The fact this is classic comics means it's an earlier print. And in fact, this is going to be some kind of a giveaway or something because it does not have a price right over there, so that's pretty neat as well. But there's always what they call a highest reorder number inside, HRN. This goes up to number 30. This is number 25, which means it's a very early print. So that's pretty cool. Paid $2.50 for my own collection. Cannot argue with that. A bunch of other stuff over here, programs, things like that I ended up picking up that you'll be seeing soon. I picked this up for $1. I thought this was pretty neat. There are no snapshots in it, but it's pretty cool. Fort Jackson, South Carolina. This will probably be going over to Whatnot at some point as well, so keep your eyes open for that. Now, some of the better stuff that I bought and why I bought it, I know that I've often mentioned buy things like this over here, Franklinton 1947 Sesquicentennial. Somebody in Franklinton does not have this. Somebody there wants this. Paid $1 for it. They'll definitely buy that for me, no doubt. This is kind of interesting. I bought some playbills, but this is for the premiere performance. So it's got to be worth $20-25 to begin with no matter what. Just because, again, this was only given out the first day of the show. I've never actually seen one like this with the gold on it before. Usually it'll say somewhere inside about it being the premiere performance. This actually is specially made outside. So that's pretty cool there for $1. A couple of things I picked up over here that'll be coming to Whatnot in September. I always have a holiday-themed auction, and you'll be seeing these fun little things going up over there. Some nice Halloween stuff going up there. As you can see, great jack-o'-lantern and all that. And then some great Christmas things as well that'll be going up over there. So you'll be seeing these in September over on Whatnot, so definitely do follow Papergoy if you haven't already. A few other things over here. This kind of stuff always ends up selling. $2.50 paid for this over here, John Lennon. The Globe, people will definitely buy this sort of thing. No doubt all about it. The Beatles still hold their value. This was $2.50, and I know I've mentioned before about buying these. These are actually supplements to the newspaper. Would have been a magazine and a newspaper from 1957. I would have bought it anyway, but when I took a look at the table of contents, the Dilemma of Marilyn Monroe. So that's got Marilyn Monroe in it. A lot of people probably do not have this that are Marilyn Monroe collectors. So for $2.50, you can ask $30, $40, $50 for something other like this. And some Maryland collectors are going to want that. Similarly, just a neat little item over here. I paid $1 for this, believe it or not, a 1905 music hall and theater review. Didn't even go through it, didn't even have to look at it. I just knew at $1 there's a lot of money to be made on something other like that, let alone if it has some good content. Couple of titles to always look for when you're out there. Wizard of Oz and Gone with the Wind. Those two items always will sell. I paid $1 a piece for those, and those are two titles, no matter what they are, Wizard of Oz, Gone with the Wind. Look for those while you're out there. Cannot go wrong at $1 a piece. Another great thing that sells over here is Pan Am, and this is a menu, but here's the neat thing about this one over here. Welcome aboard Pierce Phelps, the Pierce Phelps dealers and their wives during the 1960 Flight of the Stars. So this is the menu, but it was only put out at that day for one special thing. So not only will the airline collectors want it, but anybody having to do anything with Pierce Phelps will be interested in it as well. So that is just kind of a neat little item. I paid $1 for that as well. Last few items over here. I bought these over here, paid a little bit, $3-4 a piece on these. But I bought these over here all because of the nice Art Deco on those. And when I list those, I will definitely mention Art Deco. Which we've told you before in some of the videos, the What's Sold on eBay videos, Bolo videos. Check them out every Saturday. Art Deco is definitely something or other that sells, no doubt at all about it. A few other quick things over here. Not exactly sure what this was. A pastel shade selector, now I know. L'Oreal of Paris. You open it up like that over there. It's stiff, as you can hear. Paid $1 for it. I am absolutely certain somebody in the hairdressing business will want that. Can't go wrong for $1. These magazines always do sell. They're not as hot as people think, but they'll definitely still sell. Any of the official detective stories. The only problem with them is they're kind of difficult to list, because what you need to do is you need to look through the stories to find out what, Crimes in the Tower of Babel, what's that about. Then you have to read through and find out. Eventually you'll find somebody in some of these that are famous stories, and that's what you highlight when you put it up. This over here I thought I got a really good deal on. They wanted $6 and gave me a markdown on it as well. Muscular Development 14th edition from 1924, but it's early bodybuilding. And early bodybuilding stuff definitely does sell. So I'm just going to have to go through it and read the names, and I'm sure somebody's name in there I'll be familiar with. But this kind of thing over here to pay, I think $5, I think I paid for it. It'll go for a fair amount more. Take a lot of pictures on something or other like that, though. Last couple of things over here. I've always mentioned that these do sell. Club 82, East Side, newest rendezvous in New York City on East 4th Street. With the photo inside of it. So these things definitely do sell, the souvenir photos. You always ask $20, $25, $30 on them, unless there's something, if the picture's especially good or it's kind of a rare jazz club, something like that. But regardless, you can get $25, $30 out of something other like this all the time. Paid $1. Just amazing the things that you can find out there. This has a little bit of damage on it, but still was $1, so I wasn't going to complain. A newspaper from 1890, you cannot go wrong these kind of things. You absolutely never know what is in this kind of thing. It was just like this, folded up in somebody's dollar bin. I ended up buying it. I'll just kind of do a little research on it and find out what's good in it. Always put a lot of pictures up of it and highlight the various pictures. And then the last thing I picked up, which I thought was pretty cool, was this Collier's magazine, believe it or not, $1 from 1909. But here's the neatest thing about this one over here is, and it even says it on the cover, that's kind of the crazy thing about it. Trust me, it's in here until I can't find it. No pressure. Well, trust me, it's in here. It's a 2-page spread. One would think I could find it. It's a 2-page spread from Charles Dana Gibson. There it is. So that in and of itself, if you pulled that out, which I'm not somebody that pulls things out of magazines, but if you pulled that out of a magazine and just sold that by itself, it would be a very nice piece to start with, let alone the rest of the magazine as well. So keep your eyes out there. You absolutely never know what might be out there. Overall, I think I wrote it down, I think $158, something other like that is what I ended up spending on all this stuff. Happy with my purchases, definitely going to make some pretty good money on it. Met a lot of subscribers, met Popeyes as well, so that was a lot of fun also. Had some good meals with Mrs. Papergoy, the cinematographer, and just a great trip down here. Definitely do check it out. It'll be up in October as well. If you could do me one favor, if you could hit the like button, I would definitely appreciate it, and I'll see you next week.